Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of Analysis Paralysis, where we talk about board games every week, what's happening in the industry, crowdfunding, what we've been playing, and Mailbag.
A mailbag.
Mailbag.
Yeah.
The best part of the show.
Exactly. So, what are we talking about this week, Ashley?
This week, we're talking about board games launching at Essen Spiel and the World Series of Board Gaming.
Very cool.
A lot of fun stuff.
Also, I forgot to say, Austin's not here today.
Austin is not
Yeah,
here.
we missed that.
If you're wondering who
I'm not
this is, who are
I'm
you?
Zach. One of the co-founders of Ivy and one of our game designers and creative director on a lot of our projects. And Austin is not in the office today, so I'm subbing in. Happy to be here. It's going to be great.
We're happy to have you.
Yeah.
Another Austin imposter.
Yeah, right?
Yes.
So, board games launching. Essen is coming up.
Mm-hmm.
None of us have been,
No.
which I would like to go.
Oh, for sure.
Hopefully one day. A lot of people were asking if we were going to be there.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little bit of a travel. Can't just take a bike there.
Yes. No. We did our first con overseas at UKGE, which was great. It was a blast. I'm not bad at jet lag historically, but I stuck very regimented to my my game plan,
Right.
and it went well. And I think I'm gonna gear up for it, and we're gonna do Essen eventually
Yes.
because it's huge. How many people?
Last year it was
140,
47,000 people.
Yeah, like
So-
double of Gen Con,
Uh-huh.
which is a crazy amount.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
cannot imagine 2 Gen Cons.
Yeah,
No.
Gen Con I thought was like big enough. Where
Yes.
I was getting
Essen's
suffocated.
huge. Right. And it's the 40th year
Yeah.
of Essen. So
It's a long
it's
history.
changed a little bit, different names, but
Oh,
40 years.
40 years. I saw they also announced they have a new mascot now.
Oh yes.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a very cute orange tabby cat, which I have an orange tabby cat, so I
Right.
love it.
And there's a name.
There's a name.
There's
yeah.
a name competition.
Yeah.
So and you get a vote. So you got to go in and vote.
I think
Like-
I think
Yeah,
the voting
voting's
closed
closed.
already.
Oh.
So you can comment down below. about
What you would have voted?
it. Yeah.
So the options were Dicey, Happy, Meeps, Tapsy, and Token.
Token.
Token is where you're
Token's
at?
my choice, I think.
Token, okay.
Mine's Tapsy.
Tapsy.
Yeah. It sounds the nicest, and it's like a tabby. Tapsy. Tabby cat.
Tabby Tapsy.
I'm with Meeps. I'm a Meeps,
Meeps.
person. Come here, little
Come on,
Meeps.
Meeps.
Interesting.
I don't know. It feels like a cat name to me. I don't have cats.
Meeps.
I'm not a cat person.
I feel like
so-
anything could be a cat name. Like Flip Flop. I've seen cats named Flip Flop.
That's so funny. Flip flop. Interesting.
So last year, Cascadia won
Mm-hmm.
the Spiel des Jahres.
Dejaris.
Spiel de Jaris.
Okay, thank you.
I messaged Austin and asked him, how do you say this? He sent me a little voice memo. Very helpful.
Yeah.
Maybe it's wrong, though. But I'm,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
Let us
Spiel de
know.
Jaris. It's how we say it. I'm sure the German pronunciation is
Yeah.
not that.
Not
Yeah.
bad.
Our German friends let us know how to pronounce it.
Yes, please. Give us the phonetic spelling in the comments.
Yeah, right?
That would help.
And maybe we'll attempt the German version next show.
We'll let Austin do it.
Yeah, but Austin will do it for sure.
There we go.
Yeah.
For sure. Cascadia won last year. I feel like it is like the best picture of board gaming. Like,
What do you mean by that?
I mean, I think like it is the most prestigious yearly award in my opinion. From what I understand, you do have to be in. You have to have a printed version in German to qualify for it, which is
Oh, okay.
one of the reasons we have. One of many reasons why we have not been up for,
That's the only reason,
That's the
right?
only reason for sure. If we were in German, we'd be no. But anyways, so that's something. That's a long-term goal. It'd be fun to be in the running for one of those someday. So that'd be cool. But yeah, no, I would just like to go. Hopefully, we can go next year. It'd be a lot of fun. But there are a lot of games that are going to be there.
Any you're interested in?
Yes. So I took a look. There is like on Board Game Geek, there is a forum that we can link to that someone has kind of curated all the games that you can see there. And there were 2 that stood out to me. I think there are a lot of ones that have already maybe already exist in a different language that are coming out here. But there were 2 that I saw that I had not seen before and that you'll be able to play there. One didn't have a lot of thumbs up, and it struck me in a few different ways. Called Dark Omen. It is described as a band of misfits take on a great evil in a dark Nordic past.
The
Sounds
Nordic
very
got me.
D&D.
Sounds fun. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I can see that. So I am Norwegian. That is where my
There we go. Me too.
the Nordic ties there, speak to me. But so like role playing co-op, 2 to 4 players. It says 120 minutes to 720 minutes.
Oh,
that's a lot of minutes.
Jesus.
720?
I think it's more of like, you could say like Gloomhaven is like,
Okay.
hundreds of hours of a campaign.
But you can extend it longer.
Yes. Yeah. The thing that really caught my eye is they have this big board, and it is multi-layered, and it's like this big circular board, and there are a bunch of spaces kind of around the outside, and you can rotate the underneath of the board, and it's this kind of procedural maze, and there are walls that are shifting that you can rotate, and it kind of changes where you can go.
Right. That sounds really cool.
Yeah, very, very like innovative board design. And then there's also like the circular board also has like 4 pieces that can be like flipped over or put in different configurations. It's very modular. Like the whole thought of it is very modular. So it seems like there's a lot of replayability. We're kind of working on a co-op game that may or may not ever come out. But so like I always look at games from a perspective of like, what can this teach me in like an interesting way? And so like I really love games that have a lot of like modularity to them. So there are a lot of elements of this that feel like almost procedurally generated, which I think is a really tricky thing to master, because I think a lot of times procedural generation can get potentially a little stale or like pointless. I don't think this is the case in this game. So, but yeah, it looks really interesting. Something I would love to check out while you are there, because like the pieces of it look very cool. So go check it out if you're there. Talk to them. Cool. The other one that caught my eye was called The Hunt. It was on GameFound a little bit ago. It's like a naval duel game, 2 players. Seems like very light. So 20 to 45 minutes. It was a campaign on GameFound, which wrapped up back in April. It looks like they are shipping. They're starting to deliver that. But if you didn't get it on the GameFound, this would be a good time to go check it out. Asymmetrical, which was very cool. It's historical, which is like usually isn't really my cup of tea. I don't know why, but you're either playing the British Royal Navy or as the Germans. You have different roles. The Germans try and stay hidden, and so like you don't know where the Germans are. Yeah, and they're trying to sink the British ships, but the British outnumber them. And so it's like this nice kind of cat and mouse game. So those are the 2 that caught my eye. That I think if you're at Essen, go check them out. Let me know what you think.
I haven't played Cascadia yet, but I saw that there's an expansion coming out for this year as well.
Very nice.
And so I can't get it until I play Cascadia, but I've heard so many good things.
That's fair.
What's Cascadia about?
I think it's something with tiling and matching points, something along those lines. But it's nature themed, so
nice.
So it's
it's easy for me to like say I like it.
Nice. Yes. No, I still have not played that either, and I definitely need to.
I think we have it.
We definitely have it.
It's right there, actually, like in the corner of the room.
See it.
Yeah.
Let's bring it out right now. Cancel the show. We're playing Cascadia.
Anything else going on in the board game world?
Big board game news. It's the World Series of board gaming right now. So that's over in Vegas.
Las Vegas, yep.
So we're not there, but Austin almost just bought a plane ticket and went, which I wouldn't have been surprised
I feel like he should have.
if we get a text later that he's just there in Vegas.
Hanging out with Tom and Danny.
Yeah. But some of our friends are there. Danny Standring is there. She is the director of entertainment, which I think is super cool. Alex Radcliffe from the Board Game Co. is there. The winner of the series gets a really nice bracelet and $25,000.
Yeah, in cash.
So even like second and third place also get a prize, like a cash prize. So.
Yeah, I think the top 4 get cash prizes.
Okay.
But that bracelet.
Tell me about this bracelet. Is it
it's valued at like $3,000.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Like gold, like diamonds. We talking like?
I think it was silver, but it was a chunky bracelet.
Chunky.
All right.
Like it could weigh down like your arm.
Yeah. I got frail arms, so I don't know.
You snap right off.
Yeah.
And I imagine it's the kind of thing where if like you won one year, you'd like wear your bracelet like to the next year, right? I would imagine.
I wonder if you're eligible to play again next year.
I mean, you'd think so.
I wonder if someone just has like an armful of bracelets.
Oh yeah, no, yeah.
But there's a lot of games being played. There's like open play, like if you don't want to do like the hardcore tournament, you can still play. Raw is being played, which we were talking about before. There's some classics, Ticket to Ride in there, Seven Wonders, Azul, Brass Birmingham, which we talked about on another Analysis Paralysis episode. So a lot of different fun games that there's rounds that you play, and you play one game a bunch of times, then you can move on. So it's quite a long streak of winning and playing. So it's a multiple day
It's intense.
event.
Yeah, for the first ring or the first rounds, you have to win, I think, at least 3 out of 5. You have to play at least 5 games of the same game.
Yeah.
And so,
Yeah. What I like about it, though, is there's so many different types of games that it's not just if one person is really good at one specific kind of game. You're playing a variety. So it makes the playing field a little bit more even.
if you had to choose one, which one would you play as your starting ring?
That's a good question. It's an interesting list of games because, I mean, nothing like, I say Brass Birmingham maybe is the heaviest that I've played of this group, or that I know a decent amount
Yeah.
You
about.
recently played Great Western Trail.
That is true. Not for me. Which might be a hot take because it is very well reviewed. But that's a conversation for another time. I need to give it another shot.
There you
shot.
go.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think this is tough. None of these are like my go-to games. I just played Dune Imperium for the first time, and I really enjoyed that. But I would not do well in a tournament standpoint.
That's,
I think I'd probably if I had to play a tournament, probably Ticket to Ride. I don't know. I just feel like there's so much probably meta about all these games
Oh, for
in
sure.
this list that I just don't know about. Or it's like Ticket to, I don't know, there probably is some pretty deep meta in Ticket to Ride where it's you're going for that route? What up, this guy?
Yeah, bring a loser.
I don't know. That's tough.
I was going to say Ticket to Ride is probably my choice or Wingspan.
Go-to, yeah.
Either of those two, I think I know well enough that I can do well in.
Feel confident.
Yeah.
No, that's a fair choice.
Yeah, I love a lot of these games, but I'm just I don't feel confident that I'm going to win any of these. That's the tricky part. I would never say this to his face, but I think Austin would do pretty well in the World Series of Board Gaming. Don't tell him I said that though. I think he would do well. I think he could.
We're gonna cut
You think
this
he
and
could
show him.
Yeah.
I think he would do well too.
Yeah.
All right, we're putting Austin the next
year.
Yeah,
year.
we gotta enter him. We should. Yeah, that'd be kind of fun actually.
We could all root for him, sit in the corner, and be like,
This little cheerleader.
make him little signs.
Little signs.
Me and Max
The
can
Austin
come.
fan section.
We can be his off-screen coaches. That's probably illegal. We're not gonna.
You
do
probably can't use your phone, can't have help. It says that right on the page. So.
That. Yep.
It's like the chess competition where the guy was found.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Was it ever proven that he cheated though?
I don't know.
I don't think it was
It's all
ever
allegations.
proven.
Allegedly.
Yeah, he was allegedly cheating.
Not the chess cheating.
Anyways.
Come on, man.
Well, what have we got for crowdfunding this week?
Crowdfunding.
A lot of things recently in crowdfunding.
Yes.
Last week was busy.
Busy week.
Still
last
busy
week.
this week.
Yeah.
So many new games. It's great though. The one that caught my eye was Defenders of the Wild. It's by Outlandish Games. I would say it has a Root-esque feel, mostly in color scheme and there are animals. So I mean I don't know if it's deserving of that comparison for it can run in its own lane.
Right.
But anyways, I'm a sucker for it. I love the Root vibe.
Dig it.
And the art direction's a little bit different. I would say it's very well integrated from an art direction standpoint. It has a specific point of view, and I think it leans into it really well. And it's very evenly executed throughout the entire packaging, which and the Kickstarter looks great as well too.
Yeah.
1 to 4 players, co-op game, 1 to 2 hours. They call it a witchy war game, which I don't actually know if there's witches in the game, but I just thought that was a fun little
Witchy.
catchphrase.
Yeah.
It's basically animals versus machines, and so there are these machines that are trying to build factories in the forest, and you're trying to rid the machines or rid the forest of these machines. Very fun theme. One of the things that I think about a lot in co-op games is, can this game be quarterbacked?
Okay.
Which is can the person who has played this game and is teaching this game essentially just play the game for everyone? And if that's the case, that game just generally isn't for me, because I'm usually playing with people who haven't played the game before, and I don't want to feel like I need to play the whole game, or be paired up with someone who just has that tendency. Austin, no, I'm just kidding. He knows about it. We talk about it all the time. We're working
through it.
We're working through it.
That's funny.
No. But the thing that this does that is nice is basically like we start a turn. It's a card game at its heart. You cannot talk. Everyone puts a card down from their hand, and then once we all decided on the card we're playing, then we flip it over, and then we can now discuss like what we all should do together. And so like no matter what, you're always going to make a decision on your own for like what to bring to the table.
Okay.
And then there are additional like strategies to build on top of that like decision that you made, which I think is very clever and fixes like I think what is usually the biggest obstacle in co-op board game design. So very clever. It doesn't look very hard to teach. The other very interesting thing about this campaign, which I am so curious, let us know in the comments. I'm really curious if this speaks to you. They have what they call a rules light tabletop RPG and illustrated guidebook. So like, it's not the game. It's like a side thing for the game, and I've seen this in a few other campaigns. But it's a standalone complement to the game, and it's just like you can play like some RPG adventures. It's got like character sheets.
That's cool.
Uses its own like dice system. It's a top 2 dice system where you have a pool of 6-sided dice, and only the highest 2 dice are kept. So it's just like a really light RPG. Like I don't know. They made it a big part of their campaign. The book looks beautiful. It seems very well done. I'm curious if that's going to be a big draw for people to the campaign. I don't think I would personally have time to play the RPG because Austin probably has like 5 more RPGs that he wants to run with me before I would ever get that to the table. So like beautiful. Like I want the book, but like I'm curious. You, the user, does it speak to you, the viewer? Let us know.
I wonder, it's like a 2-for-1 game, basically.
Yeah,
That's nice.
I think I would imagine you don't have to get the RPG with it, but I think it's like it seems like a big centerpiece of the campaign. So
Draw.
yeah, but anyways, it looks very fun. I would play it.
Well, kind of speaking of things in the wild, my pick this week is Canopy Evergreen. So Tim Eisner and Weird City Games was the publisher of it, and Tim did Tidal Blades, Wonderland's War, so he has some things in his tool belt. So this is a completely standalone game as like a sequel to Canopy, with some new mechanics, same card drafting system, and set collection from the original. But they were very big about that. This is its own standalone game. And you're competing to grow the tallest trees, collect sets of wild plants, and you want to kind of like diversify your hand to have essentially the strongest forest. And so there's 3 piles that like on the beginning of the turn that you'll look at to decide if you want to keep or not. But if you don't want to keep it, it can be like builded on by other people. So if they pick it up, it could be like a stronger hand. And you want to create beautiful habitats to help your native animals and plants thrive. And they have these little trees that you stack.
I love the
so like the
stacking trees.
dexterity
That is a really
kind
cool
of
component.
it. Yeah, dig it. It looks like a Discovery Channel game. It's beautiful. But the one big thing there's a lot of things I like about it, but one really big thing that I love is that their goal is to be environmentally friendly. So they're producing the game with little to no plastic. And for every game that is pledged, they're planting a tree. So I dig that. And all wood and paper products are used in the game come from FSC, which is Forest Stewardship Council. It's approved. So that's one thing that I'm really passionate about, especially when you're at such a high manufacturing production. It can be super detrimental to the environment when packaging. So I love that they're using paper and wood products and reducing plastic. So we kind of talked about that a little bit last week with stewardship with games and environmentally friendly things. So that's one reason why, a big reason why I picked it this week. So good job to you guys for producing a game that is helping the environment.
Yeah.
In love with those stackable trees, though.
That was like the first thing my eyes were drawn to.
I'm like, yeah. One thing I think about all the time is just like verticality, like table presence. Like we all spread out on this dimension, but like I love it when I see things like spread out in this dimension. It's very hard to design.
Yeah.
They did it really well.
Yeah.
Verticality.
And I think the last game they had, they didn't have that for the trees. It was just like little tokens, but now they have the vertical element. Looks much nicer.
Just wait, someday there's gonna be Ivy games. It's just
like 800 feet
just
high.
like stacks up. It's gonna be
You heard it
great.
here first.
Yeah.
Multi-tiered boards. I don't know. There's so many ideas. It's
Multi-tier board, like
we'll
the
get-
ice.
like ice is pretty
Yeah.
dope. Yeah, but
It's
it
really
doesn't get that high off the ground. It's like how
No.
can you? It's just really is a packaging problem.
How can you make it more
Mhm.
vertical? That's our new question.
Big box games.
Yeah, right. Lily, you had some other kind of
yeah.
animal things to talk about.
Kind
You
of.
stick with the
They're
animal
like
theme.
cartoon animals. So like
Cartoon
y'all
animals.
had like very naturey themed,
Mhm.
and I was like, okay, well, I'll do something a little bit different. So I have Hello Kitty this week,
Mhm.
which, I mean, I love Hello Kitty,
Classic.
but more than Hello Kitty, I like Sanrio, which is like the parent company that makes Hello Kitty and
Right.
like
Yes.
Gudetama and things like that. But basically, this is a Hello Kitty board game where you're exploring a park and tiling. It's not an adult game, I think. I think
It's
I think
probably
it's
more
geared
structured towards children.
younger audiences, and I think it's great because I have a bunch of like nieces who I know would love this game,
Yeah.
and this could be like a great introduction for them to board gaming.
Yeah.
It's not
8+.
Monopoly, like
8+ years old.
Right.
buying property at like 8 years old.
Yeah, you have no idea what that means.
Yeah, so you build a park.
Let's talk about capitalism, kids.
Yeah.
Exactly. This one you're just taking a stroll through the park and like
Yeah.
completing adventures.
Uh-huh.
How fun is that?
Love it.
Right.
It takes let kids be kids.
Exactly.
You know, let them play Hello Kitty, not
Mhm.
Monopoly.
And I feel like people are also gonna just get it just for the nostalgia factor,
Mhm.
like Hello Kitty.
Well, that's what I was saying. I had Hello Kitty games on my Game Boy, my Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
It was the thing.
Exactly. So that's one of the cool ones I saw this week. The other one is called Sirens. It's by NB Born Games, and it's in a pack of mini games. So
Mhm.
Sirens, Defrag, and I think it was 16 Sweet.
16 candies.
16
Yeah.
candies.
Okay.
But Sirens was the one that really intrigued me in that pack because basically you're laying out cards to try and compose a song that is beautiful.
Yeah.
So you match the cards, and at the end of the game, you can scan those cards in their app, and the app will play the song
Yeah.
for you, which I think is amazing.
Super
cool
Yeah.
feature for the game. And it's a mini game, so like you can just bring this anywhere with you.
hmm
So
I think it's cool that it's a 3-pack of games in one. Great for
Mhm.
travel,
yeah,
easy to store and pack, and they're all right there together, and you have diversity.
Yeah,
Terrifying
it's
games.
pretty diverse.
So, and they're all the 3 of them are very different.
they are.
So, it's nice.
It's a game for everyone.
A game for everyone.
Mhm.
We're also playing a lot of games
We are.
right
Yes.
now.
Yes, we were at Tennessee Game Days, which
Mhm.
I mean, you all have been on this show since Tennessee Game Days, but I played a bunch of games for the first time at
Yeah.
Tennessee Game Days.
Mhm.
The most notable for me was Dune Imperium.
Yeah.
It's a game I've never played before and been on my shelf for a long time. It has a lot of things I like, including deck building.
Yep.
Currently sitting at 7 overall on Board Game Geek. I see
praise.
why. Interesting notes, interesting takeaways. It was not as much of a deck builder as I thought it was going to be. I would say
Okay.
it's to me it seemed to focus much more on worker placement. Not a bad thing. I like deck builders. The first game we designed was a deck builder. And also like I haven't played that many deck builders where like engine building is not a part of them. So it's interesting to see those things split apart. Don't dislike it. But I also realized that like one of the reasons I really like deck builders is also the engine building.
Right.
So like that was like, I don't know, still processing like how I feel about that. There's also a lot of direct competition for things, and that is like I think that's where it succeeds because you always are directly competing with someone for something, whether it's like these battles or these races for like having influence in different like houses and things like that. You really have to pick those battles carefully, which is something I kind of realized by the end of the game. So I'm excited to play again. I think it's definitely belongs in the top top conversation. I see what people like it a lot. It's a very big amalgamation of a lot of different board game mechanics that I think comes together on top of a really great theme. So because Dune's wonderful.
I've heard so many good things. Just haven't gotten around to playing it yet.
Yeah.
I'm sure Austin will play with me.
Yeah,
Since he didn't play with you at Tennessee Game Days.
He didn't play with either of us.
No, he didn't.
So
So.
gotta guilt trap him into
Yeah.
to playing
right.
with us.
Well, kind of speaking of Tennessee Game Days, there's another game that I was going to talk about last week, but I saved it for this week. That one of y'all on Discord somehow found out that I played this game at Tennessee Game Days, but it's called Puma Fiosi. It's a Knizia game published by Bitewing Games, and it's part of the Criminal Keeper collection. So it's trick taking and press your luck. And the whole point of each kind of turn is to come in second numerically. So there's a little like stack of cards, like a line of cards, and you'll play a card that you don't want it to be the highest number. So say I put down 47, Zach put down 45, he would get like the points for that.
That's cool.
And you'll basically create a chronological list next to these original cards, and you'll get points based on that. And played a couple rounds of it. I thought it was really fun, and I would play it again. But I was talking to one of the guys I was playing with, and he had said it wasn't his favorite out of the Criminal Keeper collection. It's actually a reprint with tweaks of the game from, it used to be called Rooster Booster. And so they kind of reconfigured, made some tweaks to the game. They condensed the number scale. So it's 1 through 55 are the numbered cards. It used to be bigger, so we're just kind of condensing it. So Knizia always is, I mean, tons and tons of games. So I thought it was fun, and I'd play it again.
I want to play it. Sounds great.
Okay.
It looks really cute.
I don't know if we have it, but
I don't think we do.
We can get it.
yeah, okay.
Let's get it.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Cool.
It's
We'll
easy.
play it. Lily, what things have you been playing this week?
So this game was introduced to me at Tennessee Game Days by one of the Discord mods. Thank you, Johnny. This one's called Deep Sea Adventure,
Ooh.
and it's a very light, quick game. Push your luck, dice rolling. Basically, you're on a submarine and you're trying to dive for treasure. So you roll a dice, and that dictates how many spaces down, diving deep-wise, you go. And you can collect treasures on the way down and up. And you have a shared pool of oxygen between all players. So the more treasure you pick up, the more oxygen you take up.
Yep.
And if you don't have oxygen, whoever's still left below water or outside the submarine, I guess, drowns.
So are you drowning your friends, or is this a co-op game?
It's not a co-op game. It's
Wow.
competitive.
So you're drowning.
It's like
people.
1 to 5 players, I think.
This is like some
It's
high-stakes treasure
it's
hunting.
high-stakes treasure hunting. It's very fun and light. Like a game can last maybe 20, 30 minutes at
Oh,
most.
that's nice.
And the game packaging is like itty bitty. It's like this small. It's by Oink
Oh.
Games. So
Oh,
Oink
yep,
Games
small.
creates really
Yeah.
small games.
Cool.
And the creators are Jun and I think Goro Sasaki. And
Oh, cool.
I think it's a Japanese-based game or created game.
Sweet.
But that was fun. JP and I have been playing it quite often as like
Uh-huh.
a light
Yeah.
and the night game. We want to play something.
Nice.
That's nice.
And then I also played Q-Birds. Basically, it's card collecting with birds.
So
and the
right
birds
up
are
your alley.
square.
It's the
like
birds.
Oh, yeah, I've
More
seen this
birds.
box. Yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty quick. It's on BGA if people want to play it. But you collect basically sets of cards to match. And then if you have a whole set, you can like claim a flock. And if you get 7 different species, you win, or two sets of 3 for 2 species. Oh gosh.
Okay.
It'll make sense
Wasn't
if you
really
read the
tracking,
rule
but
book,
that's okay.
but it's quite fun. Also very light and easy to introduce to people who don't necessarily play board games very often.
We've been on an animal theme this episode.
Honestly,
Lots
yeah.
of animals and woods. So
I wish I could make animal noises like Meg. I would have
Yeah.
added to the theme.
yeah, I'm not even gonna try. But she has a good werewolf.
She is so good at that.
So does Devin. Devin's pretty good too.
It's all the energy. You want to try?
No, I'm just like trying to think if I got any. I don't got any.
You got any animal noises?
I got like I
today?
can do like a pigeon. Wait, not
Oh.
that's not a pigeon. I don't know.
That's
That's
pretty good.
so
That is
skill.
pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, you're really talented.
Oh, thank you.
Well,
I should come on the show more often.
we'll have a segment of just Zach making animal noises.
Yeah.
Every week.
Well, still big weeks going on here in the studio.
Every week's a big week
Every week's
here
a
at
big
It
IB
is.
Studio.
But we have a tournament going on right now.
We do have a tournament going on. So, as a part of the Mythic Mischief Volume 2 Kickstarter, we launched Mythic Mischief online in beta. So it's a mobile version on iOS and Android. The beta is open right now, so anybody can join. That will not be the case, which we'll talk about in a minute. But we did this big tournament. There's 576 slots. We had like a day of registration. A bunch of people registered. There's like 2 group stages where you get like in a pool of people. The person with the most wins moves on to the next group stage. And then after that group stage is done, which is just wrapping up, we go into the bracket. There's like a top 16, then 8, then 4, and then a big showdown. There's prizes. The winner gets $200, and then there's some other prizes and all that. So that's unfolding right now. It's been super fun.
Yeah.
So many games are being played. We've got just like
it's like 10,000 games or something.
Yeah,
like that
over
one
10,000
time.
games
It's
being played in this beta. So yeah, make sure you download it so that the open beta is about to close, and then we're going to go into closed beta.
Yeah.
And so you don't want to miss out. The way you can keep playing Mythic Mischief Online is to make sure you get the Mythic Mischief Online Founder add-on. So basically, that will get you continued access to the beta, but it will also give you a heavily discounted permanent faction unlock for all of the factions of Mythic Mischief. You end up saving like, it's like 66% off because you also get a free, you can gift the same thing to a friend. They also get to unlock all of the
Buy
the
one, get
factions.
one.
So it's the best time to get in. So yeah, go check that out.
We'll put the link in the description.
Yeah.
I think I played more Mythic Mischief in the past 2 weeks than the rest of my life. Although I guess I've only been playing it since the past 2 months, but still.
No, it's great. You can have so many games going on. It's good to. It's also fun too because I love games like this because I just have like friends from like high school who have reached out and they're just like challenged me to a game. I'm like, I didn't even know you knew what this was. And then we're texting and long lost friends.
Yeah. There you go.
Games, just bringing people together. It's great.
Yeah.
But we've also been mostly you two.
Yeah.
have been working hard over here, packing some stuff up.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
Moonrakers Titan merch. We mentioned it last week that it was in the studio. Lily, Austin, and I have begun packing it, shipping it out. Make sure you follow us on our different social, especially Instagram accounts, because I've been posting updates of what we've been doing. And it really is, we have a lot of orders, and it's basically just me, Austin, and Lily doing it. So thank you for being patient. The hat orders, the U.S. hat-only orders, were shipped yesterday. We brought them to the post office. And we're going to work on some more packing today.
Yep. So much packing. So much packing tape.
So much. We went through like 3 rolls in one day.
At least.
So.
Making friends at the UPS store.
Yes.
We actually had to go to 4 different UPS stores, or USPS stores.
USPS.
Just to have enough boxes.
Which one's the best one? Is there like a...
Probably the one that I went to and the one we went to yesterday.
Yeah, I agree. That was the best one. I don't want to say it on camera.
Yeah, no, I don't even know which USPS.
I can't make
We're not
enemies
giving
out there.
Our USPS secrets over
Exactly.
here. Which stores are the best in Nashville? No.
But we did go to one, and the people, it's close-ish to the studio, and people were very nice. So if any of you are watching this video, thanks for being so kind.
Yes, thanks for your patience.
I don't think that they watch this show, but maybe.
They might.
They might. The
Who
Venn
knows?
diagram might
Maybe
be
they'll
small.
recognize us.
USPS workers overlap with people who watch Analysis Paralysis. Anyway,
you never know.
Titan merch is coming.
All right, so mailbag.
Mailbag time.
What have y'all been listening to?
So is this like someone asked in the comments what we're listening to?
No, I was just curious.
Oh, you were just this is Lily's
my
mailbag.
If you guys
we
would
need more mailbag.
Yeah, if you guys ask us some good questions for us to talk about,
we'll give you a shout out.
Yeah.
Right.
And then we'll answer
Shout
it.
you out on the show.
Yeah. So
Y'all
we're
are
just talking
deep.
about
Thanks.
yes.
So ask us some good questions.
What we're listening to.
I'm listening to so many things. But what are you listening to?
Well, I have kind of an eclectic music taste. Listen to a lot of different things, but especially since I just moved to Nashville, I've always liked old school country because I was raised on John Denver's and the Alan Jacksons. But an indie-ish country artist, Zach Bryan, who I'm sure many of you know, released a new album and randomly dropped an EP.
He was in town this past weekend.
Yes.
My friend saw him.
So I've been listening to those albums, and my tried and true that I'm not a bandwagoner. I've been listening to Noah Kahan since like 2018, so no one come for me in the comments. I'm not a bandwagoner.
Bandwagons are fun. I don't know.
Yeah. His music's great. He's done a lot of collabs recently with Lizzie McAlpine, Post Malone, The Lumineers, Zach Bryan. So those are the big ones I've been listening to recently.
Yeah. Mine's a little odd. I've been listening to the Over the Garden Wall soundtrack because it's spooky season soon, and it's a great show if anyone's seen it yet.
Fantastic show.
And its soundtrack is just so silly and fun. Like, I listen to the ABC song from the school teacher all the time.
Okay.
It's great. It's a bop.
Incredible.
Maybe just watch the show. It's great.
It's a great show.
I'll have to watch it. I haven't seen it.
Oh yeah,
It's
coming.
for spooky season.
Yeah,
It fits right in.
they're about to re-air it.
Mhm.
At Cartoon Network, I think.
Mhm.
Okay, so I've been listening to so good friend of mine in the studio, Cody Fry's got a new album out called The End.
Yeah.
The title track, the first track, just dropped. It wasn't one of the singles. Should have been. Best song he's ever made. You know it's true, Cody.
Shout out, Cody.
It's fantastic. It's all over the place. Bunch of different genres within one song. It's fantastic. And then and Ivy, we directed a music video for What If. That was part of that record. And then I directed a video for the song Fine. That's going to come out later this month. So I'm very excited about that. The album's fantastic. Go check that out. The Bleachers put out a new single. Love that. The Barbie soundtrack.
Oh, also slaps.
Solid.
It's so good.
I've listened to that
It's great.
quite a few times.
My daughter, her favorite song or her favorite color is pink. So naturally she likes
Love it.
the pink song at the front of it. I played it for her and she just lost her mind. She's like, someone wrote a song for me.
This is
the best song I've ever heard.
And then podcast wise, I've been really loving Mike Birbiglia's podcast, Working It Out. So Mike Birbiglia is probably my favorite comedian. I love his specials. They're more like kind of one-man show type things. But anyways, he has this podcast where he has other comedians on, and they just work out jokes. I love there's like making things, the process of making things. I love hearing creators talk about the process of making things, and it's been really fun to kind of understand how they think about their specials, crafting narratives, but also just like the art of crafting jokes. And so like he'll work out part of his special,
Oh, so
and then
he's
he'll-
like workshopping.
and they'll
awesome.
workshop some jokes with him.
Wow.
Some of my favorite episodes, like he has he works with Ira Glass a lot, who's NPR and This American Life. He has Ira Glass on a few times, and he will like tell him like a story from his special, and then Ira will like give him notes. And I was just like hearing, like as a creative director, just like hearing someone of Ira's, prestigious career, just like give notes on a story is just like, it's amazing. So go check it out.
One day, Zach, I'll be you.
We'll see. No, I don't know about that.
I can see
but,
it.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic. So yeah, great podcast.
That's awesome. Well, last week we may have skipped a little bit for the giveaway, but this week we're back. A pledge for Mythic Mischief Volume 2. It's good stuff. Lily, who is our lucky giveaway winner this week?
Let's get a little drum roll. All right. So Gregory Stetter.
Gregory Stetter.
You won.
Or
So
it might be Gregory.
according to your username, it could be Gregory. I
Cool
autocorrected
name.
to Gregory in my mind.
That's fair.
But you can DM me, let me know I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Find me on Discord, cat picture Lily. And yeah, we'll get you hooked up with the Volume 2 pledge.
A good old pledge.
Congrats.
Yeah. Well, another week, another episode of Analysis Paralysis,
Mm-hmm.
And another giveaway.
and another giveaway.
Yep. So for next week's, we want a mailbag question
Yes.
because we're running out of those.
Mm-hmm.
So comment your mailbag question, and if you have a dad joke, throw it in. Why not?
We love
like
dad
to laugh.
jokes. Yeah. Make us laugh.
If you make Ashley and I laugh, we'll give you a little heart on the comment.
Yes.
Ooh.
We'll let you know that we LOL'd.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for watching, guys. And tune in next week for another episode.
Yeah. See you all
See
next
you later.
week.
Bye.
Like the finger when you give
I know,
someone
you
a
just,
thumbs up.
I'm like, look at that. What is that? It's so crooked.
Well, my thumb bends back kind of far, so
Oh my gosh, where's that?
I think Jordan's does too. We were talking about it the other day.
It's pretty straight.
It depends on the angle you're looking at, I guess. Yeah, good form. Good thumbs up form.
Good form. To win some thumb wrestling competitions.